Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, how are my snipers doing today? I hope you guys are doing fantastic. Listen, today we are going to be talking about the one, the only Turbo Toad token. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, right? You know me, I'm super high on this meme coin. I still believe it is going to perform well when altcoin season will be here. And yes, there will be an altcoin season. When I look at the data, when I look at the charts, everything is aligning for 2026. Okay. Um, so look, I am not gonna be, beating around the bush or anything. I know times have been a little bit scary to the average person, but to be honest, I've been seeing this as great opportunities to be buying. Okay. Here is a quote by Mr. Warren Buffett. Okay. A simple rule dictates my buying. Be fearful when others are greedy, and be greedy when others are fearful. Now, this last part is the most relevant, right? Being greedy when others are fearful. People are asking me, should they sell their turbo for a massive loss? Some people are down 40, 50, 60, 70, 80%, and they're wondering if they should sell. And for me, first of all, there's no point of ever really selling for a loss unless you know the crypto is absolutely done for, right? If you know the crypto is done for or there's a better opportunity, right? Context really matters. The second thing is, right, just because you are down now, it doesn't mean that you still won't get rewarded. Okay. We talked about this before that portfolios can be sometimes down 30%, 50%, even 70% on average, but they can still obtain a 10x, 15x, and 20x victory by the time the cycle comes. Okay. So that's the thing, right? It's not always about buying the literal bottom and everything goes smoothly. It's about endurance, it's about patience, and it's about getting your best dollar cost average prices in because there will be a time sooner than later where things pump. Okay. And that is just the truth. I know things for Turbo don't look the best, but you have to remember a lot of coins are kind of in a similar pattern like this. Okay. I talked about how this type of manipulation to the downside was probably one of the best things that could have happened for cryptos and altcoins. Okay. Overall, I don't expect too much momentum. Uh, like in quarter four, I expect it actually to be happening 2026. When I look at the data, when I look at the charts, we are coming to an end for yearly candle closes. So I don't really expect the yearly candles to all of a sudden flip, right? If we go for something like Turbo, you have to realize that, okay, yes, we pumped up last year dramatically. This year, we went down. We went down to crucial zones. We retested very important areas. But what do you expect next year? Think about it like a staircase. 1 year down, 1 year up, 1 year down, next year up. Okay. Now you might be thinking, no, this man's crazy. But no, look, this has applied for other coins like, something like Bitcoin. No, up, down, recovery, pump, pump. Down, recovery, pump, pump. Okay. So what do I expect from Bitcoin next year? Most likely to start selling off and crashing down, and for altcoins to see a big rally. Same thing with Bitcoin dominance, right? Bitcoin dominance up, up, up. Altcoin season, Bitcoin dominance up, 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 up. I expect altcoin dominance next year to really start tanking. So, yes, I'm optimistic. The data still suggests, especially on the yearly, on the high time frame, that we are going to start seeing massive pumps towards altcoins and meme coins and coins like Turbo. Now, look, I know we lost our ranking. In fact, I wasn't even aware of this, ranking loss until today, but are ranked 243 in the world. We were, maintaining that 100 to 200 level, for a long time. I would say we're fluctuating consistently between 140 and 160. And yes, I know it looks kind of grim right now, but you remember meme coins bleed out way more. Meme coins bleed out way more, but they also pump way faster. And we know Turbo always seems to see a little bit of love in early on, right? Turbo always pumps a little bit earlier, which means it's going to see the end of a dump a little bit earlier too. So it looks worse now, but when things start reversing, it's going to catch up in ranking. Overall, we can see in the last month we are down 33%. In the last 7 days, we're down 7.5% plus. And in the last day, we're just kind of break even roughly at plus 0.40%. When we go to the holders, we can see some people are starting to leave. Right, over the last 2 weeks, we have been consistently kind of heading down very, very slowly. People are losing faith, right? People are starting to fear a lot. But here's the reality, right? Now, I've explained the other concept before, but whatever amount you put in, you should always expect that you're never going to get it back, that it's already lost. And this is not something we just say just to say. This is like something you have to, believe in like 80, 90%. Of course, you're still always going to hurt a little bit when things are down or if you sell for a loss. But this is the mentality you need to start having when you buy cryptos. Okay. And just logically speaking, why are people selling at the bottoms? I think people are way too emotional. I get it. It's some people's first cycle. I made a lot of mistakes in my first cycle. I didn't even make money in my first cycle. So I'm not here trying to shame anyone, but I'm just trying to educate people and really change their psychology and mindset so they can be successful, whether or not it is their first cycle, second, third, or whatever, right? I really want everyone to be successful. Look, when we go and look at some of the other things, when we go to like ranking, when we go to the category of beloved memes, we can see that Turbo is what 200 things. So look, Turbo, like I said, did lose a good amount of ranking even in the whole meme coin ecosystem, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Toshi's 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So we are 27th. So yes, that is a very, very poor showing. That is a very, very poor showing. But at the end of the day, the ratios are still better than a lot of meme coins, right? Remember, Peanut went up to 2 billion market cap. It is below us. Popcat also did fairly good. It is below us, right? Moodang did fairly good. It is below us. Troll was very short lived. The Book of Meme did much better than us. It is below us. Nero did much better than us. It is below us. So, these ratios, like I said, yes, I know things are not looking the best, but Turbo usually gets the shit end of the stick near the end of the bleeding, but it also gets the one of the first pumps, right? One of the first pumps. So I'm not too worried. In fact, I will be looking to be buying more Turbo very, very soon. I'm just looking for other prices. I'm looking for specific zones that I want to see Turbo at. I already have my limit orders. Overall, when it comes to the short-term price action, we can see we do have a little bit of a support here, but I do think it is going to be fairly short-lived overall. We could see some type of pump upwards of 0.003 potentially, but I do think we are still going to sell off further as there is no real data suggesting that we are going to be going to the upside. That is going to be ultimately it, ladies and gentlemen. I know times seem a little bit rough, but to be honest, this seems like the best time to be dollar cost averaging, to be putting in bigger positions. Of course, I'm not a financial advisor, but that's just something I'm doing. I've been playing crypto and the dollar cost averaging game very, very aggressive. And I've told you guys before, when things go lower and lower, I just buy more aggressively. And that's just how I personally operate. And I also wait for sniper zones to really get a nice dollar cost average. That is ultimately it. I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Goodbye.